said, it was a true battle. I mean, this was like a chess match, back and forth. Looked like both teams maybe had the momentum and they were going to end up winning. So let's talk about what happened. Let's break down the first half, the second half, and talk about how we got here, right? So the first half, Inter Miami came out looking like the better team. They were dominating. Vancouver looked lost. They looked like a team that had traveled 3,500, 4,000 miles, whatever the distance may be between Vancouver and South Florida. It's the two furthest teams, like I've said, from each other in Major League Soccer. And in the eighth minute, Messi had this beautiful pass to Allende. And Allende was trying to cross it to Matteo Salvetti, but it went off Ocampo in the eighth minute for an own goal. And at that point, I was like, okay, that's some good luck for Inter Miami to get on the scoreboard in the eighth minute. They have the momentum right now. They're at home. They're up 1-0. But if you watch Vancouver play before, they have beaten Inter Miami at home. So you can't get too comfortable. This is one of the only 4 teams have ever beaten Miami at Miami. Vancouver's one of them. So you can't be too comfortable, but that's a great start. About as good as you could want. The first 30 minutes, like I said, Ahmed, Sabi, these two pacey wingers were being neutralized. You had Ian Frey on the right side doing a very good job against Ahmed in the first 20, 30 minutes. And then you had Jordi Alba doing a very good job against Sabi. They weren't doing much. And then when you look at Thomas Müller, he really wasn't doing much in the first 30 minutes of this game. Still question if he was hurt, but because he didn't look his normal self. And Brian White was non-existent as well. But they did a really good job. The defense was playing on they were firing on all cylinders. They were playing collectively good as a unit. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give us a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 12,000 subscribers by the end of the year. With your help, I know we can do it. We're only 650 away, getting closer and closer thanks to your guys' support, which we greatly appreciate it. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. Now, back to the video. But then after 30 minutes, things really started to turn around. Like Vancouver just looked like the better team. All of a sudden, it looked like Miami were fatigued. Like they played this great 30 minutes. Then things changed, and Vancouver had all the momentum on their side. But I also want to point out one thing too, that Vancouver made a huge mistake that they changed. They were playing a high line, and Inter Miami were just absolutely killing them on these through balls or the deep balls because they can't catch up to Matteo Salvetti or Tadio Allende. So they were just getting killed on the high line. So they had to switch that up, and it made a huge difference when they stopped doing that. But they were getting beat left and right when they were doing that, right? So they changed that, made an adjustment, and then Miami looked a little tired, a little fatigued. Some of the guys didn't really play that well like we had seen in their playoff run in general, speaking of Inter Miami. But Rocco Rios Novo had an incredible save when Thomas Müller had a header to a pass to Sabi, and he kicked it right into Rocco Rios Novo's chest, but that was still a great save. Then there was this other play where Sabi had a chance to score. It hit off the post twice, and then he tried to score off the rebound and wasn't able to. I mean, they were threatening like crazy down the stretch. Now, that second part might have been in the second half. It was just kind of bled together, but they were threatening, and they had all the momentum after the first 30 minutes, like all the momentum. So Inter Miami looked like they were going to be in trouble, like they had used all that energy in the first half. Going into the second half, I'm thinking, are any of these teams going to make substitutions? They really need to kind of change things. I wouldn't really run back the same starting 11 either side. Maybe change one or two things to try to open this game up a little bit more, but they run back the same starting 11s in the second half. But Vancouver continued to really look good in the second half, probably for the first 40 minutes. And Ahmed was able to score. He shot it. It hit Rocco Rios Novo in the hands, bounced off our left post, Rocco Rios Novo's right post, left post, and then went in on the right side. Very unfortunate play for Rocco Rios Novo because he got a hand on it. It was unlucky bounce, and they're able to score, and it's 1-1. And this was in the 60th minute. That's when I'm like, okay, Inter Miami might really be in trouble. This is 30 minutes of continuous bad play from them. They look exhausted. Vancouver's got their their foot on their throat, and they feel like they're out for vengeance, like they are going to win this game. Inter Miami needed a goal desperately. So it continued to do that for like the next 10 minutes. The next 10 minutes, Vancouver were just absolutely throttling. They were running Inter Miami off the pitch. They smelt blood in the water. It was bad, folks. Like if you were an Inter Miami fan at that point, you're thinking, oh, this is not good. This is going to be a repeat of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. But then in the 71st minute, Messi laid an absolute incredible pass to Rodrigo de Paul to score, to put them up 2-1 in the 71st minute. Rodrigo de Paul has missed some great opportunities in 2025. And if we're being honest, Rodrigo de Paul has been a bit of a disappointment for Inter Miami this season. But he had arguably his best game for Inter Miami today, and he came up in the biggest moment when you need him to. And he scored to put them up 2-1. And when that happened, the momentum swung heavy again in Inter Miami's favor, swung heavy into Inter Miami's favor. And they were just kind of toying with Vancouver at that point. They had a couple opportunities. Vancouver just seemed like they were tired at that point. And I want to say Inter Miami lost possession pretty bad in this game. It was 35-65, but they did make the most of their opportunities when they did have the ball. But at that point, 71st minute, they score, and you feel pretty good about Inter Miami's chances because Vancouver looked completely gassed at this point. They just look soulless at this point because they're so tired. Soulless at this point. No energy whatsoever. And then in the 96th minute added time, because we had 7 minutes of added time, Messi had an incredible pass, another pass over the top to Tadio Allende, who scored for the dagger to put them up 3-1 and seal their fate to win MLS Cup 2025. What an incredible finish. Incredible finish. I mean, I was thinking the whole time that Inter Miami were going to squander this game. I thought at one point that Vancouver was going to squander this game. I've never seen a game where the pendulum just swings in momentum from left to right to left to right. It was just crazy to see the back and forth. This was a true chess match. And I was wondering, Jesper Sorensen, the manager of Vancouver, is a very good manager, guys. He is. He's a great manager, great tactician. I was wondering if Javier Mascherano was going to be able to counter him. Was he going to be able to make the adjustments to counter what he's doing in game and keep their momentum up, or finish this game and win? Is Jesper Sorensen going to be able to make these changes, make a comeback? Inter Miami's going to be left looking like they did in April when they lost the CONCACAF Champions Cup 2-leg round. But that wasn't the case. Javier Mascherano has been a different man in this playoffs after his one loss to Nashville SC. He's found himself. Like, he's still a young manager when it comes to coaching. This is his first year coaching the senior team. He obviously coached the youth national team with Argentina. He's still figuring things out. And I think he has. And he did a very good job of sealing the deal in this hard-fought game. Don't let the scoreline fool you. It was, it's 3-1, but it was a battle. And Messi really didn't pick it up until the end of the game. Like, he looked tired, or maybe he's hurt. I don't know. But he had 2 key assists in this game. To seal the deal for this team to win. So even if he's not playing at his best, he still had a great game and was probably the best player on the pitch. 2 assists, key moments. And honestly, probably would have had a third assist if Allende had scored the own goal, right? If he had shot that and scored, but it was the own goal for Ocampo. But Messi was incredible. He stepped up when his team needed him. He didn't score a goal in the Eastern Conference Final. He didn't score a goal in this game, but he set people up. He facilitated. He created chances. He helped his team win their first MLS Cup. And if I had to say who I think the MVP is, it's a 2-way tie between Messi and Rocco Rios Novo, because Rocco had 2 great saves that saved Inter Miami from losing this game. He had 2 great saves. He played a hell of a game. If Oscar Ustari was starting goal in this match, they probably would have lost. If we're being honest, they probably would have lost. And the fact that some of these guys had a bad game, Baltasar Rodriguez had a bad game. Mateo Savetti probably had the worst game he's had with Inter Miami. Noah Allen was really, really leaking there at the end. He was not doing so well. Maxi Falcone was okay, I guess. I mean, he wasn't bad or good. He was just Maxi Falcone. But there was a lot of guys who didn't have Tadio Allende before the last goal in the 90th minute. Before that, he didn't even look as good as he had in his last two matches where he had 5 goals. It was like the carriage turning back into a pumpkin with Tadio Allende. But he was able to score. Now I think Tadio Allende was sick or something. Maybe that was a reason why he didn't have as good of a game tonight, or today. But he showed up when it mattered most. He scored a goal to seal the deal for their fate and win MLS Cup in 2025. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And this was a great game. These were the two best teams in the entire league. These were the two best teams all season long in Major League Soccer, Vancouver Whitecaps and Inter Miami. And we got the best final we possibly could get. This was, like I said, this is probably the best MLS Cup final I've ever watched. It is. It was a true battle between two great teams. And I would say, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, I am a little disappointed in Thomas Müller. He did have one or two chances, but he just did not look as good as I thought he would look or had looked earlier in this, since he joined Vancouver. He did not really have a great game. I think he kind of came up small, and I think he's injured. He'd been having some hamstring injuries, so I wonder if that was something that kind of lingered with him. But I feel like he had a disappointing game, unfortunately. But they still looked really, really good. And when the wingers started to play better, the game got interesting. Now Sabi's probably going to be up for a long time, thinking about the chances he missed for Vancouver. I mean, he could have had two goals at least. He could have had. Sabi could have. So the chances were there. They just weren't able to finish them. But kudos to Vancouver Whitecaps on an incredible season. They made it to the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. They made it to the MLS Cup final. They didn't win either one of them, but they made them to the two biggest trophies you could possibly win in North America. They made it to both finals and had a chance to win it, which is an incredible, incredible feat. And I know that you don't want a consolation prize, but man, you guys should hold your head up. You had a hell of a season in 2025. And this is after the team was announced they were going to be sold. Most teams usually collapse when something like that happens. They persevered and they played really well in 2025, and they had an exciting, exciting season. So props to them. Props to Jesper Sorensen, one of the best managers in Major League Soccer. And Inter Miami, you guys did it. You won the MLS Cup. We talked about this. Was Inter Miami going to be able to do this? Were they going to be able to win MLS Cup? Some people were doubting if Messi could do it. I didn't doubt he could do it. I doubt if the people around him could do it. Could his teammates help him out? Because the teammates had been very subpar throughout a lot of his time at Inter Miami. His coaching had been subpar when it mattered most. That was my question. But you know what? They did it. They won MLS Cup. They won MLS Cup. The club has only been around since 2020, and they won their first MLS Cup. Relatively new team still, if you didn't know. Relatively still a new team. They're the champions of Major League Soccer. They're the best team in MLS. Next season, 2026, they're going to have the MLS logo on their arm, their patch, and it's going to have an MLS Cup trophy on it because they're the champions of the league. A silver MLS logo with a trophy on it because they're the champions. So incredible season. Javier Mascherano, you deserve your flowers. You did a great job of adjusting. You had a great turnaround this season. Even with adversity where people were calling for your job, including me, you proved that you were the guy for the job. You sealed the deal, and you won your first MLS Cup. And Inter Miami are champions of Major League Soccer. Guys, what an incredible final. I can't believe it's over. It's a little sad that this 2025 season is over, but what a way to end it. What a great game. I want to know what you guys think. Who was your player of the game? What was your favorite moment? And were you surprised by the results? Let me know down below in the comment section. Also, guys, if you enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.